Buenos dias, Cape Town amigos. Here is my dessert. It's my beautiful steak and a piece of liver. What? Is this spread for the king or not? Don't forget, the eggs are coming on top of it. And that was my starter. Carnivore diet and autophagy, or any kind of diet and autophagy. What? Autophagy. Autophagy? Autophagy? All depends on perspective. Now, this will be my perspective on the autophagy. I will also point you to the professional perspective on autophagy, but I will also elaborate on my perspective. Visiting friends of mine, it's just about time for dinner, so there I am walking to my bedroom. I wasn't really I wasn't trying to listen, but unfortunately I did overhear, and it was coming from behind the closed door, and it went something like this: listen, and listen well. Look out through that window and put that picture into your mind. Put it in there quite clearly, because if I ever hear from anybody that you've been sexually active, I'm locking you down in the cellar, and you are not gonna see that outside picture for the rest of your days. Are you reading me? Are you getting me? Wow, that was quite a tough talk. Sherbet. Whoa, I should not have heard it. How am I ever gonna get it out of my head? So I'm walking back to lounge, and the conversation is still on. And it goes something like this: what you can do is raise your legs, and you might even put your legs against the headboard to keep them up, and maybe even put a cushion or two under your backside to kind of lift your pelvis slightly up. So the chances are that you are going to be improving your chances of getting pregnant. So I now get into lounge, I sit down, I'm looking outside, and it's beautiful outside. You are looking at a beautiful Table Mountain view, and a couple of a stream coming down there, and a waterfall, and a little dam in the background, and geese flying around, and my head is boiling. What actually went on there? A couple of minutes in, one of the daughters walks in. Hello, uncle, da-ba-dee-ba-da, and we're having a chat, and then she's quite happy and relaxed, and we're chatting, and no sooner does mother come in, and the chat improves even more, and before I know it, the other daughter walks in. The other one is, I would say 23, 24, 25 years of age, and the younger one is about 16. And now I am into my numbers. What has just happened? What has just transpired? And then I think a little bit deeper, and then I'm recounting my steps. And on the way into my bedroom, I probably overheard the conversation coming from room number 1. And I take it, I presume that was the conversation with a 16-year-old. And then on the way out into the lounge, obviously I'm not paying attention much to the doors, door number 1, door number 2, they're not numbered, but I'm just numbering them for sake of clarity. And then I probably overheard conversation coming from the room number 2. So clearly the one is 16-year-old where the mother does not want the daughter to be actively sexual at her age. And then on the way back, I'm listening. I overheard the conversation with the older one, with the married one, where the mother is now giving tips as to how to fall pregnant. So in other words, subject is more or less the same, just different perspectives. In other words, scientific perspective on the autophagy and or my perspective on the autophagy, autophagy, one from here, one from there. It's up to you to check which one you prefer, which one you like better. So clearly, after hearing the conversation from the first one, I'm kind of concluding that the mother either does not quite know what sex is all about. In other words, there is discouragement because I can't even say it. And then coming in, now all of a sudden, mother is all into it. So two different mothers, two different perspectives. What? Obviously, two different conversations. First of all, what is autophagy? And for that, I'm putting down a link below on Guido Kroemer, the French scientist that will definitely, in my opinion, give you the best perspective there is on what exactly autophagy is. And not only that, but also how and when is autophagy either generated or promoted or instigated within our bodily structure, and that's what it's meant to do. Now, on the other hand, I also watched a number of good videos where they tell us about telomeres and extension of telomeres, of doing whatever it is that we can to extend the lengths of telomeres, and that way improve the life expectancy of our cells. In other words, if we now want to extend our life expectancy to this, that, and whatever age, we have to make sure, we have to try with all our might to look after our telomeres. On the other hand, there is autophagy, and autophagy wipes out the cells. No? What now? Am I supposed to be promoting the life extension of myself, or am I supposed to be promoting autophagy, the death of my cells? Well, it all depends which ones. The healthy ones, the good lookers, you want to keep alive. Not only keep them alive, but you want to extend their life. You want to make sure of their well-being. On the other hand, the ones that are not so healthy, the ones that were at some stage or another of their life supposed to have given up their ghost, their hour has come, and yet for some reason or another they decide, no, my time is not yet up. I'm enjoying being around here, and I am now gonna go into hiding. I'm now gonna become a partisan. I'm now gonna become a rogue in the system, and I'm not gonna be compliant. I'm not gonna be doing what apparently I'm supposed to do. Apparently I'm supposed to give up the ghost and die. Apparently my time is up. Now, if it was for an occasional rogue here and there, apparently nothing much would happen. But what does happen when these rogues, these partisans, when they do go into hiding, when they do start forming gangs, clustering together, that's when the trouble can really start within the body. However, that can only happen in a very democratic society that has established that the cops now don't need to carry guns, that the cops are there just to maybe give you a ticket here and there. And that's about it. Unfortunately, in a society when there is number of rogues, where there is number of gangs moving around, you do need your cops to be armed, because those frigging gangsters come armed. Now, in order to have a force, in order to have the KGB, the FBI of the bodily system to come onto the scene, you apparently need to fast. They do not come onto the scene unless the body has fasted for certain number of hours. Now, what is the number of hours? The jury is still out. They have not absolutely concluded as to what is the best amount of hours, but from what I'm judging from Guido Kroemer that is, he only eats once a day. Not only does he eat once a day, on top of it, now check this out, on top of it, he floods his system with coffee. Yes, coffee. Coffee apparently promotes autophagy within the system. Coffee is like the inducer, like the inductor, like the call for the cops, for the FBI, for KGB to come in and do the job of finding these rogue cells that want to hide within the system, that want to form gangs and then cause trouble within the bodily system. Coffee apparently seems to shorten the hours required for the autophagy to kick into action. Now, me, and of course Guido, being, or rather eating only once a day, are giving ourselves the 24-hour gap between the meals, and chances are that within that period the autophagy does kick in. The FBI and KGB does starts to circulate within the bodily system and cleaning out and finding out these rogue cells, these cells that were supposed to given up life, that were supposed to say, here I am, take me apart, use whatever it is that you need within the body and discard whatever is unusable. But for some reason or another, they don't do that. So, time plus the coffee, good cup of coffee. Mind you, I think, I didn't ask, I don't know, I wasn't told, but I think it's got to be an Americano, it's got to be black coffee without milk. Once that cream or that milk is in there, you have broken the fast. In other words, that was it, whether it's breakfast, around breakfast, whether it's around lunchtime, whether it's whenever. Once the body needs to start digesting, working on whatever it is that you have taken in, you have broken the fast, no matter what the time. So I prefer not to drink the beautiful tasting cappuccino, but rather stick with the Americano so that there is no breaking of the fast, and the good guys, the autophagy guys, can come in and do the job. So again, life is at stake. On one hand, the mother wants to promote the generation of new life. On the other hand, the mother wants to prevent new life. Obviously, 16 years, 25 years. Same with us. From one perspective, we want to do everything with resveratrol, NDA, NMN, whatever it is, whatever kind of molecule it is. We want to promote the extension of our telomeres. On the other hand, with fasting and a little extra black coffee, we want to make sure that that life that has done its job is now properly ended. We want to make sure that those cells that willy-nilly refuse to die and give up their ghost will be taken out by that extra force that can only be generated through the autophagy. So unless you do that little bit of extra fasting, you will not get into that autophagy type of being, type of, or rather existence, where you can do the sweeping of the house, the cleaning of the house, and getting rid of the unwanted. The final conclusion then: stop stuffing your face from the moment till your peepers open up until the time that they shut down again. Stop doing harm to yourself. Realize and recognize that there is such thing as time feeding window within your body structure, and there is such thing as time that's required for elimination. There is time that's required for preservation. There is time within the body that's required for survival, and the body can only do it when it's in that type of mode. Because from the cellular perspective, all the cells can only be either in protective mode or nourishment mode. When the cells are in the nourishment mode, they cannot do other necessary activities within that structure. Only when you go into protection mode, only when you go into survival mode, and that is when you are not stuffing your face, that the body can do the spring cleaning, the summer cleaning, the autumn cleaning, the winter cleaning, whatever cleaning needs to be done. Help your body, help yourself. Stop stuffing your face 24/7.